Thank you so much. I just love that we care so much more about dogs' lives than we do actual lives, but I'm going to continue on. I want to make sure that I enter this UC, which is one of the reasons that we are a bit skeptical of any immigration, quote unquote, enforcement laws that y'all are trying to pass. This UC is from The Guardian. It says, immigrants with no criminal record now largest group in ICE detention. You know, I listened to Mr. Van Drew.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. I listened to Mr. Van Drew, who I do respect, and he went on and on and on about how this is about the bad guys. And I will be honest with you and tell you that when it came down to the election, there were a lot of people who really believed that the Republicans and the president were all about getting the bad guys out. People truly believed your words, but your actions are not matching up, because I've got the receipts showing that they are not matching up.
Jasmine Crockett came in heated, and honestly, she had every reason to be. She looked straight at the room and said, "You found $40 billion under a couch for Argentina, but you can't find $6 a day so Americans can eat?" Before we go any further, drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. I want to see how far this community reaches. Then she turned up the pressure. She said this administration keeps acting like immigration enforcement is the problem, while ICE is now detaining more non-criminal immigrants than anything else, all while claiming it's about getting the bad guys out. She called it what it is, hypocrisy. They talk tough on TV, but the receipts show the opposite. She even dragged the Epstein issue back into the light, pointing out how Congress went silent for 2 months because they couldn't talk about Epstein, and now everyone suddenly pretends to care about the victims. And when Republicans tried to shift blame to Biden, she shut that down fast. Run the tape, she said. If you campaign on something, you get judged on whether you delivered. And while they were campaigning on Epstein, Democrats were campaigning on affordability, grocery prices, and basic survival. She reminded them that tariffs are taxes, something Republicans claim to hate, and those tariffs are exactly why prices went up. Now, the same folks who raised food costs want applause for lowering them. Then came the knockout. America has 42 million people relying on $6 a day for food, and not one Republican went on Fox News during Congress's long break to say this is wrong. But somehow, the president found $40 billion under the couch cushion for Argentina. Money appears on demand for everyone else, just not for hungry Americans. Jasmine wrapped it with a reality check. If they want to talk about Epstein, then they should talk about everything, especially the policies that made them lose real bad in November. She said if they want any chance at re-election, honesty would be a good place to start.
And so call us a little paranoid in believing that the hypocrisy may continue to come from across the aisle. Speaking of hypocrisy, I do want to point out, since we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, because we couldn't talk about Epstein before. If y'all recall, we were gone for about 2 months because we couldn't talk about Jeffrey Epstein. And now everybody wants to act as if they want to have like a real honest conversation about the victims and the survivors and everybody else. Where was this conversation a long time ago? And I know that y'all love to go back and say that Joe Biden didn't do it. You know, Joe Biden is blamed for everything. Joe Biden didn't do anything, and it was Joe Biden's fault, and why wasn't Joe Biden? Joe Biden didn't campaign on it. I just want to be clear. If y'all can run me the tape, then run me the tape. But you know, when you campaign and you go out and you make a promise, then we evaluate whether or not you actually meet your promises. So listen, this was rope that y'all decided to hang yourselves with because the president campaigned on the Epstein files while we were campaigning on things such as affordability. We were campaigning on the things that now people are complaining about, right? Because of the tariffs and the fact that you guys won't say anything and tell the president, hey, sir, tariffs are taxes. We as Republicans, we usually don't like taxes. And guess what? That's going to make everything unaffordable. So now he's going to be our big savior, and he is going to reduce the price of foods because he is the guy that actually increased the price of foods. So listen, if you can have this honest conversation about Epstein now, let's just go ahead with this lame duck president and be honest about everything that the American people care about. They care about affordability. They care about the fact that literally people are starving in this country because we have 42 million people, and I don't remember any one of you during that almost 2-month break deciding to go on faux news or any other news outlet and say, you know what, it is wrong to have 42 million people that are relying on $6 a day to eat, and we have the money because somehow our president was able to find under the couch cushion, the one that JD wasn't sitting on, under the couch cushion, he was able to find 40, how much did he find to send to Argentina? 40, there we go. 40 billion to send to Argentina. But those emergency funds, he couldn't find them emergency funds so that Americans could eat. So listen, if y'all are gonna be honest and talk about Epstein right now, let's be honest about everything that is causing y'all to lose real bad. Did y'all see the election results on November 4th? It didn't go very well. So let's just start having honest conversations so that hopefully some of y'all in some of these tight seats, maybe y'all can get reelected and